Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the nightmare scenario. I'm actually more surprised that we didn't see a ton of mass rioting across the country. There was some, but not nearly as bad as many people thought it was. At a party last night, some people didn't want to come. They were worried about driving on the highways. Well, last night, several states stopped reporting their vote counts. And now we're kind of frozen. There's a lot of weird things going on. Of course, the Republicans, people on the right, are saying that Democrats are playing dirty games. The Democrats are saying that, no, we're just going to count all the ballots. And I'll tell you this, both Trump and Joe Biden have said that they're on a path to victory. The media has reported that Donald Trump has declared victory. He said something like, quite frankly, I think we did win. I think it's all just crazy. It's crazy. But my friends, I can officially report a loser in this election. That's it. It doesn't matter if we wait until all the mail-in votes come in. The polls and the pundits lost, and they lost by just insane margins. We were told it was going to be a Democrat blowout. We were told Democrats were going to make gains in the House. They were going to take the Senate, and Donald Trump was going to be crushed with this double-digit national lead. Right now, Trump is actually on track to win, and Joe Biden is not. However, what I'm saying is, I got to be very, very careful here. Be very clear. As the states lean right now, Trump, if everything stopped right now, Trump wins. But they're saying they have a bunch of mail-in ballots they haven't counted yet in some states. And they're saying that in Pennsylvania, they can accept mail-in votes up to 3 days after Election Day till November 6th, even if they have no clear postmark. That, to me, is one of the craziest things. But I tell you what, man, Trump may lose some of these states, and the ultimate count may end up with Trump losing. But Trump is taking it to the courts. If Trump can get some of these late vote counts stopped, he's going to win, hands down. So let me show you something. I also want to say Democrats are losing in the House. Republicans have flipped a seat, but lost one in the Senate. I think John James is projected to win. This is really crazy stuff. The polls were just so wrong. And you know what? I'll be happy accepting the polls were wrong. Fine. But take a look at 270 to win. Based on the current leaning of states and the current total count, right now, Trump, if everything stopped, would win 282 electoral votes. Joe Biden, 256. It would be over. However, they're saying that in like North Carolina, it's going to flip to Biden. Georgia is really close, but probably will go to Trump. And I think they're saying Michigan is now in Biden's favor. I'm not entirely sure, but Trump's only up by about 20,000 votes, according to this map. I just pulled up the Wall Street Journal election results, but I've seen some tweets. So let me just first say, President Biden has 238 electoral votes to Trump's 213. Biden has 50% of the popular vote with 69,141,253 to Donald Trump's 66,859,610. The governors lost one, Democrats. Republicans gained a governorship. In the Senate, the Democrats have gained one seat so far. Republicans have lost one seat. But the Republicans did make a flip. That's my understanding. And in the House, this is really incredible. The Democrats so far have lost 4 seats, and the Republicans have gained 4 seats. I think I was right. Look, I don't know if I've repeatedly said I don't know who's going to win, and it could be Biden, because I'll tell you, man, historic voter turnout is good for Democrats. If Democrats didn't turn out in large numbers, Trump's popular vote totals are way higher than last time. So this is what I was saying a while ago, that Trump may make these gains. We may know many people who are like, I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for the Democrat this time. I'm voting for Trump. Johnny Rotten, people like me. And that contributes to Trump's gain of around 4 million votes. So we know these people. But the Democrats were able to activate a bunch of normies, people who are just like, it's crazy. Everything go back to normal. People who hate Trump. My personal opinion, and it's not meant to be an insult, but low information voters. You know, when I talk to people and I ask them about Obamagate, you know, the spying, Comey, Logan Act, Michael Flynn, most people say, I have no idea what that is. Well, if you did, you'd probably vote for Trump, even if you think Trump was the worst person in the world. What we're basically looking at is serious impropriety. If Donald Trump loses, And he might, unless he wins in the courts now. And he actually might, because now with Amy Coney Barrett in the court, there was a 4-4 ruling, which sent the ruling back to the lower courts. Okay, let me slow down. In Pennsylvania, where they ruled they can count ballots 3 days late, it was a 4-4 Supreme Court ruling, meaning essentially nothing. And it goes back to the lower court that allows Pennsylvania to count ballots with no clear postmark that are received at the 3 days later. If Trump challenges this now, because the court basically said you have to segregate the votes. Any vote that comes in after Election Day needs to be put in this pile and preserved as evidence. That way, if the Supreme Court rules you can't do this, then Donald Trump will probably win Pennsylvania. But my understanding right now is that Pennsylvania has not followed this order and has created no system to actually segregate these votes. So even if the Supreme Court rules, they're going to say, we don't know which ones those are. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you, I am laughing at the idea of Democrats losing House seats. Now, another big loser of last night was Fox News. Fox News gave Florida probability to Biden at like 83%, and then all of a sudden flipped to Trump. Trump won in Florida. My friends, I want to show you something really, really, I got to go through this. There's so much I got to show you. You're going to be like, wow, to a lot of this stuff. First and foremost, as I said, with 270 to win, the current leaning states, if everything stays the way it is, Trump will win. Okay, Joe Biden needs to flip. I think he needs to win Wisconsin, but then he also needs to flip, I think, 2 Midwestern states. Otherwise, Trump's going to take it. It might happen. Predict It currently has users betting Biden will win at 81 cents. That means they believe it's not percentage wise, but if you put down a bet of 81 cents and then Biden wins, you win $1. So people are pretty confident they're going to win 20 cents on their 80 cents. They think Joe Biden is going to win and Donald Trump is going to lose. They believe that Michigan will flip Democrat, Pennsylvania will flip Democrat, Georgia will flip Democrat, and Joe Biden will be the ultimate winner. Now, over here we have Josh Jordan. I love this one, my friends. As you know, my biggest complaint is usually the media. I know I'm not a big policy guy. I think if Trump loses, Middle Eastern peace deals gone. Withdrawing our troops from Afghanistan gone. He's going to send in way more drone strikes, more international conflict. Not a fan of that, but I think it's coming. Check this out from Josh Jordan. We're not final yet, of course, but a look at how much Trump overperformed the Real Clear Politics average in swing states. The polls were historically wrong. Incredible stuff. In Ohio, +7. Wisconsin, +6. Iowa, +6. Texas, +5. Florida, 4.5. North Carolina, up 1. Georgia, up 1. Arizona, -2.5. And Minnesota, -3. This could end up being a much worse night for polling than 2016, which is pretty remarkable. And now, look at how much Trump overperformed the 538 averages in swing states. And it's all basically the same thing. Wisconsin, +8, Iowa, +7, Texas, +5. My friends, they said, I don't know if I have the New York Times pulled up. Do I? I think, okay, I do. They said that, okay, I don't have the toss-up states. They said Texas was toss-up. When you look at the actual toss-up ranking from the New York Times, it's all these states are heavy Republican. The polls were so insanely wrong. And I wonder if it played a role in demoralizing Trump supporters and got them the result they wanted. The polls were off by more than they were last time in many places. That to me is probably the most incredible takeaway from the night. Now, Donald Trump declares victory, right? Joe Biden's campaign slams Trump's outrageous bid to try and shut down counting and prepares to deploy legal teams across the country. I tweeted, the Democrats are going to start finding the votes they need to beat Trump. Republicans are going to cry foul. Then Democrats are going to complain. No one is going to trust the results of this election. The point I'm making is they stopped reporting certain vote tallies in certain states, and they're changing the rules at the 11th hour. They've already done it. Now they want to continue counting ballots like in Pennsylvania, which Trump needs well after Election Day. So Trump is saying, you can't do that. We're going to sue. They're saying, count every ballot. It doesn't matter where you think you are. What matters is there's a polarized divide between the factions. Now, here's the best part. I said the Democrats will start finding the votes they need. And all of a sudden, I get inundated with these people saying, like, what does that mean, Tim? What do you mean finding? You mean counting all the ballots? I didn't mean anything. I didn't mean anything by it. It's literally just they're going to start finding the votes they need, meaning there are a bunch of ballots stacked in boxes in a room, and they're going to go through them and find the votes they need. But the paranoia is real. People on the right are already saying finding as in found in the boot of a car at a rental agency. We know that story, huh? And the Democrats are saying, what do you mean by finding, Tim? Are you implying they're gonna find them randomly? They're counting all the ballots. Y'all need to chill. I didn't mean anything by it. I just meant literally that the numbers are going to start coming in. I don't know if they're going to be legit or not or whatever. I'm not making any accusations. I'm saying, like we saw in 2018 with the House, Republicans, Trump is tracking to win, and then they're going to start pulling out a bunch of votes. And we all knew this was going to happen. And everything that we thought was going to be is to be. Except, of course, well, no, I'm sorry. Look, the polls are wrong. I said the polls were wrong. I'm very happy to say I got that one right. I said I didn't know who's going to win. My gut leans towards Trump, but I don't know. And maybe Trump ends up losing. No idea. I can tell you the polls were wrong, though. And that's, I guess, the most important part. Look, the left and the right are going to demand that, Republicans are going to say we have a right to stop these counts and everything. Actually, let me just show you the story because, I think it's most important. From the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Supreme Court will allow Pennsylvania to count mail ballots 3 days after the election. So this story is, I don't know when the story is from. It's actually from a few days ago. The Supreme Court will allow Pennsylvania to count mail ballots received up to 3 days after the election, rejecting a Republican plea. The justices divided 4-4 Monday, an outcome that upholds a state Supreme Court ruling that allowed election officials to receive and count ballots until November 6th, even if they don't have a clear postmark. The 4-4 ruling isn't so relevant, in my opinion. If Ruth Bader Ginsburg was still on the court, it would have been a ruling in favor of the left anyway. Republicans, including President Trump's campaign, have opposed such an extension, arguing that it violates federal law that sets Election Day as the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November, and that such a decision constitutionally belongs to lawmakers, not the courts. I agree. I don't think the Democrats should have changed the rules. And it says, even if they don't have a clear postmark, that to me is insane. So what? It could be fudged and you don't know what it is or when it's from. It could be from well after. That's ridiculous. Chief Justice John Roberts joined the 3 liberal justices to reject Pennsylvania Republicans' call for the court to block the state court ruling. Look, I understand courts will make their decisions. I understand that, Democrats have said, here's what we want to do. And the court says, well, I think you can do it. The problem is we're dealing with an election. And you have 2 different factions, parent factions. There's a bunch of smaller factions, but you have the Republicans and the Democrats. The Democrats should not be allowed to arbitrarily change the rules at the 11th hour. Sorry. If someone says, I challenge you to a race, Tim, we're going to run, a 100-meter dash. And then I say, here are the rules. Here's how we do it. And then like a week before we go, they say, actually, we've changed the rules to allow us to start running 3 seconds early. And it's like, wait. I didn't agree to you changing the rules. And then the ref goes, I'm going to allow it. And I'm like, no. I'm here. We're having a legitimate contest. You can't just change the rules. Well, the Democrats have done it, and the courts have ruled in their favor. I believe the appropriate ruling would be defer to existing standard rules. I believe that Trump is correct. Election day, as set forth by the Constitution, is the first Monday. The first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. End of story. They're going to argue, I suppose, that these mail-in ballots are from before the election. Therefore, they should count. But if they have no clear postmark, they can't be determined to be from Election Day or before. Here's my fear. Let me show you a few things first, and then I'll tell you what my fear is now with a Democrat victory. Joe Biden is obviously criticizing Donald Trump. I have a very interesting tweet from Lachlan Markay. Lachlan is a Daily Beast reporter who said, as Florida showed last night, even very large states have the ability to count votes quickly. There's no reason beyond politics, of course, this can't be replicated nationally. I agree. It makes literally no sense that any state would stop their reporting and say, we're going to wait now a few days. That makes no sense. If all of the mail-in ballots came in, then you have them, you count them. But we have to count the mail-in ballots late. No, you don't. That makes no sense. If you were expecting 1 million votes, you were going to count 1 million ballots, weren't you? If the ballots come in early, why, you should be able to get done early, shouldn't you? Because you got them all sooner, huh? Nope. For some reason, this time. So I don't know, man. I think both sides will make their arguments, because this is going to be a presidency for the courts, which we all expected. Fortunately for Trump, he's got a 6-3 conservative majority right now, so we'll see how this plays out, but it could take a month. We are going to be in for a wild ride. Wild. Lockwood was responding to Glenn Greenwald, who said, the U.S. inability to count votes is a national disgrace and dangerous, and I agree with both of these men. But my friends, something magical happened last night. I mean, the polls were wrong, but check this out from Cigar and Jetty. I still absolutely cannot believe that Trump won Zapata County 52-47 in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, which he lost to Clinton 65-32. There is no other national Republican in America who could have done that. Just incredible. Donald Trump flipped heavy Clinton areas, not just here. There were some other instances where I think in Virginia, we're seeing something like this. People are shocked to see that although it's not looking that great for Trump in the long run with the politics going on, Trump overperformed to such a degree. He flipped a Clinton district he lost 2-1, and now he won with a 5-point lead. Things are crazy, man. The media, the pundits, the forecasters, I'm happy to say we can ignore everything they say from now on. I would like to humbly request that 538 just shut her down. My favorite thing about last night was that when 538 started, they said Donald Trump has a 10% chance of winning. Right now, we're in political toss-up territory. 10% chance of winning. Boy, were they wrong. I see no evidence to suggest that the polls are wrong this time. We've adapted our models and now everything's better. Florida was supposed to be leaning Biden, and it's like 5 points for Trump. What is the number? Let's go down. Florida, Trump is up. Okay, Trump is up just about 3.4 points about. So, well, I think it's fair. Okay, fine. Margin of error. You can have this one. But they were saying Texas was toss up. Trump is up in Texas by 6 points. So absolutely ludicrous what they were saying. Oh, here we go. I have the toss up. Look at this. It says toss up states. Now, I'm not faulting the Wall Street Journal for this analysis. This is what the pollsters were saying. Florida, Iowa, Maine second, Ohio and Texas were toss ups. And look at this. Florida is about three points for Trump. Then you have Iowa, which is 8.2 for Trump. Maine 2 is 7 points up for Trump. Ohio is looking at 8.2 for Trump. And Texas is about 5.9 points up for Trump. You want to talk about wrong toss-up states? Are you crazy? Check this out. Lean Democrat states. Arizona, they're saying, does go to Biden. Michigan right now, Biden is leading by 0.2%. North Carolina and Georgia, Trump is, and Pennsylvania, Trump is up. Now, I tell you this, man, in Pennsylvania, Trump is up 620,000 votes. Are they going to find that many ballots? That's crazy. Absolutely insane. Trump is up in Pennsylvania by 10.7 points. Lean Democrat. Oh, I love to see it. They were so wrong. Look, we know the safe Democrat states. We know the safe Republican states. I will say it's kind of funny that they're not absolutely convinced on Alaska yet. But this was wrong. Lean Democrat and toss-up needed to move over. The toss-up states should be lean Republican, and the lean Democrat should be split toss-up. They were wrong. That's crazy, man. I can't believe it. Well, I tell you what. We got some funky stories, some excuses, some craziness. Check this out. Fulton County, election results delayed after pipe bursts in room with ballots. No kidding. That's Georgia. Georgia's, whoa, we're going to have to stop because a pipe broke. Okay, fine. Sometimes pipes break, and it's a big country, so okay, fine. I don't know what is going to happen, my friends. I know that in the next few hours, we are going to get an onslaught of statements, of lawsuits being filed, and I will be here to cover all of it. And what a wild and absolutely insane night. Predicted says Biden will win. I'm not convinced. Take a look at this. They believe that Pennsylvania is going to go to Joe Biden. But as of right now, Pennsylvania, Trump is up 600, over about 600, just shy of 600,000 votes. He's got 54.8% to 44.1. Are they really going to find that many votes? Maybe, I guess. Look, just because people are betting on things doesn't mean they're right. And I did a segment where I said wisdom of the crowd predicts Trump landslide. A lot of people on the left thought that the map showed that Trump would win blue states, like Trump was going to win California. They're like, that's so dumb using a betting website. No, you don't understand the point. It's that people across the country in all of these different betting pools predicted Trump would win the presidency. That's it. And he still might. I actually think it's a safe bet. Trump will end up winning through the courts. I do. Look, no matter what happens at this point, we are going into court battle territory. This is going to be a litigated election, not a people's vote at this point. The House is likely, my understanding is likely going to be Democrat. We can see right now they're saying it's still possible the Republicans take the House, and they've already gained 4 seats. In the Senate, they've lost 1 seat, but I do believe that, let me pull up the Senate. In Michigan, John James is up 0.5%. So we don't know for sure. He's up about 24,000 or so votes. We'll see. And in Maine, Collins is up substantially, but they're not calling it yet. And in North Carolina, Tillis is up just around, about 1.8 points. So we will see. In the House, one thing I will give a shout out to, Sean Parnell looks like he's going to win. This is amazing. If we hop over to PA, we can see in, was it PA 17? Sean Parnell is up 14 points. Sean Parnell, wow. Connor Lamb, he was one of these do-nothings who said, elect me, I'm a moderate, and then immediately went first. Impeachment, ignored everybody. But the Republicans have already gained 4 seats. And I don't think they're even counting like Sean Parnell because they haven't called it for him yet. They're saying it leans in this direction. We will see how it plays out. My friends, it's looking really good for Republicans in the House. That's crazy. And they need a ridiculous amount to take the majority. Right now, both sides need 218. Democrats have a lead of 8 seats. They've lost 4. Could you imagine if it just inverts and the Senate goes Democrat and the presidency goes Democrat, but then the House goes Republican? It's going to be a whole lot of wacky business. But I tell you what, a lot of people are saying that it's going to be likely a GOP Senate. These are I believe the Senate right now. Yes. So we got 3 states. We've got Georgia. We got a runoff going on with Loeffler, Collins, and Warnock. In Georgia, it looks like Purdue is on track to win just about 4 points. And then you've got Maine and Michigan and Alaska looking very much so like it's going to be a GOP Senate with a stronger GOP House, but probably still a Democrat majority. Joe Biden or Trump, it could go either way. We will see the litigation going nuts. And then no matter what happens, I think no one's going to accept the results. But I'll tell you what, I'll leave you with this. At this point, based on what we're seeing, if Joe Biden does end up winning, I think Republicans will just accept it. I think conservatives will say, well, okay, he won. They'll complain, they'll file suits, and if they lose in the courts, that's it. If Donald Trump wins, bedlam. Bedlam's a good word. Yes, absolute chaos. Anyway, I'm gonna be covering the news as it happens today. Should be fun. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel, and I will see you all then.